Rave it, baby.
Need a water? You mean to go get you a water?
I just need to finish the fucking mint. I'll crush it. Okay.
We're not. I mean, don't take 10 minutes, but you can take 2 minutes.
We're gonna start.
Enjoy your.
Carmen, it's fine. Like, we can start. Push through. Leave me behind. Save yourselves.
Yeah. Okay, it's swallowed.
Why did you do that? We're not in a hurry.
Was it bad?
Why is it so fucking funny? I just tried to put it.
You forced
You
yourself.
guys are literally waiting for me. Let's go.
You forced
Come on.
yourself through pain, so we didn't have to sit here an extra 45 seconds. That sums
Dude.
up so many issues you have. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
What
You're
do
like,
you
no,
mean?
don't let me be the
what
inconvenience.
Issues? What are we talking about? Okay, fine. Let's talk about it. What fucking issues do I have?
I don't want to be the inconvenience, so instead I'll fucking make myself suffer. It was such a minor inconvenience for me and DJ to wait on you to finish that mint. But then you looked like you were miserable.
Well, you ever it's one of those intense, like real intense ones. So it's like, and I had 2 of them like an idiot. And then,
Well, I was probably doing a bad job.
so it was like all up in my nose. I was like, what the fuck? Now that I think about it, what was probably making me sniffly was the goddamn mint because it was so intense.
Right.
And then they were waiting on me to start. So I just chewed it.
And I was probably doing a bad job of expressing it, but I was trying to say, rather than suffer, just finish it normally. We'll wait a minute. And that was hilarious that you were like, no.
Which seems like a ridiculous thing to make fucking 3 grown adults. Guys, wait, I gotta finish my mint.
Yeah, but instead we just watched you choke on chemicals. And that's hilarious to
It was
me.
too much. It was all in my nose.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Welcome
It was like
to
I took
gravy,
a cum shot
baby.
from a mint leaf. It was insensitive. Ugh. It was like a lot. You ever take a no.
A
I was
cum
gonna say,
shot
you ever
from
take a cum shot wrong and you can feel it in your nose?
Nope.
Yeah.
I jumped off a diving board without grabbing my nose, It gets up in there. Chlorine.
That's a little bit more, that's more forceful, I would say, than what I'm talking about, but it's like when you try to breathe and swallow at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You get choked on spit sometimes when that happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that, but
More intense.
But yeah.
The volume is larger and
It's like you try
saltier.
to snort a mint chocolate milkshake up your nose. That's kind of what the vibe is. Anyways, welcome to Gravy Baby, ladies and gentlemen.
One time.
I'm a people pleaser. Now you state what's wrong with you, DJ. Everybody get their ailment.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ, you look so fucking serene, DJ. It's like upsetting at this point.
It is.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm
It's
kidding.
so good.
Dude, you sounded so
I
great.
said,
Oh.
you could have chewed the pants. I'm just like, I feel like spring is here. I can smell all the smells. The sun is so perfect. So perfect. I walked up here barefoot. It was so good.
Ooh. Get some
Yeah.
gravel toes going on. Get a little gravel toe on you. Build them
Oh, all
calluses
it-
up.
All the grass. Well, I had it's nice.
DJ, can you run or walk quickly on gravel? You seem like
Sure.
a guy who could. I thought so.
Yeah,
Can
of
you?
course. Yeah.
I'm a pussyfoot. I used to be able to.
I never could. And like in my neighborhood, we were, country kids. We were all outside barefoot. I'd always have to like go in and I'd be like, yeah, we'll go outside barefoot. And then I have to go get my shoes.
Yeah, I don't.
All my
I
cousins
got
could run.
soft feet.
Me
I've been
too.
with too many feet guys. I take care of my feet, so they ain't hard on the bottom.
Well, I should take advantage of my soft feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of which, OnlyFans.com/
Drew Morgan.
Drew Morgan.
I did sell a feet pic.
Did you?
This guy was like, hey, how much for feet pic? And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm a comedian. And he was like, how much? And I was like, all right, $100 if it's custom. He's like, nah, it's too much. I was like, yeah, I agree. And then like a week later, he was like, all right, I'll do it.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, we even fucking teased him and everything. Dude, you really are
That's
a
how you
sex
do it.
worker at heart.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
for
even
sure.
teasing her like, this much money. I mean, like that's what they do. They're like, you could charge a lot of money to do
Yeah.
something you don't want to do, and then somebody will be like, "Fuck it, I
Yeah.
want it. I want to see it that bad."
That's what Akeem and I were talking about. We were streaming on there the other day, and he was like, "You get a lot of gross requests or whatever." I was like, "I don't know about gross, but people ask me stuff." And I was like, "Well, my thing is, he's like, would you ever do this or that?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "Well, of course there's a number,
Sure.
but that
Yeah.
number's higher than I'm worth because I'm not famous or really, really hot or whatever."
No, that's the classic Jackie Cation's dad / Maria Bamford bit where you never say no without a number.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I would jack off on camera, I think, on OnlyFans for like 10 or 15 grand, easy. But nobody would pay that.
Right.
One day I will be famous enough someone will pay that, but then the number will be higher.
Yeah. Then you go, I appreciate you thinking of me. This is my number, to be $10,000. If your budget ever goes up, please keep me in mind, but know that my prices are always rising, so you could turn it down in perpetuity.
Turn it down in perpetuity.
Yeah, baby.
You got good phrases today. Come shot from a mint leaf, turn it down in perpetuity. You're like a lawyer from a dimension DJ lives in.
Lives in. He's coasting through. Look at this fucking guy.
on a ship made out of clouds.
You do have sailboat energy right now.
Yeah, pontoon boat energy.
Dude, imagine DJ putting a sail on a pontoon boat.
I believe it.
Made out of pallets.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way he's going.
That's all the negative
I'm
ions from
melting.
the ocean he's fucking floating on right now.
I don't know what does that mean? Negative ions from the ocean.
Okay, well, like human beings are positively charged, like in our cells, down to our cellular level, we're positively charged. Why do you think this is what people
that's what went wrong with me, dog. I think we figured it out.
So we are positively charged, and so then that's why a lot of times when people go to the ocean, they always feel more relaxed, is because when the waves crash against the shore, it releases a lot of negative ions. So it puts us closer back to center in the sense of closer back to like balanced.
You're telling me
that's why people so on a chemical level, when people go to the beach and like, it's so relaxing. It's literally because your cells are being completed. Yeah.
You sound like Andy a little bit, but with science, which
Well, I mean,
is
it is
very intimidating.
It was based on. I mean, it was like that was like fucking Earth space science
You know
from
what I'm-
like high school. I just remember that for some reason.
You know what I mean? That's like a witchy thing, but you're bringing facts to it.
But like, I don't think there's very much difference in that. I mean, they would have said that. I mean, in witchy stuff, like when people are like,
Yeah, it's
"Here,
semantics.
hold this rock," it has. Yeah, I think that there's a real between what is magic and what is a real closer to what we
Andy,
what we would think of.
I think I brought this up on here, but maybe not. Andy one time was telling me, I don't remember what the phrase she was using. It's from that world. She was like, that person's I don't remember what, something negative, and was describing what that meant. And I was like, oh, you mean a narcissist? And then I just had this like pop in my brain where I was like, oh, right. We're just all trying to describe reality. And we just have different words for how we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing about science, though, dude. Don't nobody know a goddamn thing. We're naming shit and looking at shit and saying this does this, and then like 10 years down the road, they're like, well, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It kind of does. It's kind of what that is.
80%
But then,
of the time.
they just discovered there's no like dark matter doesn't exist. And so for years and years, you're talking about fucking decades, motherfuckers have been doing these hypotheses and stuff, giving lectures, who knows what. And they're just like, no, we set the telescope up there and all that's bullshit.
Have you guys seen that Higgs-Boson documentary from the Hadron Collider?
Yes.
And so there's one guy whose whole career will be validated if it's a positive number. When they figure out what the number, I'm going to fuck this up. When they figure out the weight, if it's over here on the spectrum, all his life's work will be validated. And there's this other scientist where if it's this number, all his life's work will be validated. It was neither. None of them could figure it out. And it was like for years, these were the only two possibilities. And I have dumbed down literal physics, but that's essentially what the whole documentary was about. Which one of these brilliant men will be validated?
Turns out they're both dumb as fuck.
Well, Basically,
You're
Yeah,
wrong. You're
idiots.
wrong. Yeah.
Losers.
You gotta do the work.
Yeah, you've never been laid?
Hydrogen collider, the great equalizer, motherfucker. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Is that what you
Yeah.
call it when you're jacking your meat at night alone? Dr. Dillweed?
Dude, I just love
And
the
they
idea
live-
of the hydrogen collider being like, you don't fucking know me.
Yeah.
Oh, you think
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna figure me out? I'm mysterious, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about it. It took that many times. It took those people doing that to get to the next phase. There's not really any failure. There's not really any failure there. In
There's no
fact,
failure in the
the
terms
work-
of humanity.
The work that goes into it will prolong other work and gives credence to other work that will be done. I mean, that is your role in life.
I feel like that's
100%
where the
agree.
difference between witchy shit and science is. Because people aren't like, oh, this spell didn't work. And then somebody's like,
Yeah.
well, that spell didn't work, but what if I did it like this? Like, that's not happening. So that's why I feel like science wins out for me. It edges out witchy shit in the sense that there's people that keep trying to do it.
I'd like to
over
see
and
a
over and over
scientist
again.
edge a witch.
Hmm?
I think
Wait, what'd you say?
what? I'd like to see a scientist edge a witch.
Put it on your OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/
There you go.
Dream Working Comedy.
I wanted to go back to this idea that DJ is espousing that I agree with philosophically and in my heart.
Mm.
Like, you're advancing, but like on a personal level. I think both those dudes were okay being wrong that the other one wasn't right, not because they hated each other, but because it was like, oh, this raises more questions than anything else. I can keep going. If one dude had been completely wrong, I think the other dude would have felt like a failure. And I think when it comes to failing, how you feel is all that really matters. Because I know plenty of losers who don't know they're losers, and therefore they're not losers. They're just
Right.
fucking floating through life. You know what I'm saying, DJ? Like, you're right that dedicating your life to science isn't failure, no matter how the outcome is. But if you do that and you have this, like, and it's your ego, sure, but you have this, like, goal in mind and you don't reach it, for a lot of people, that is failure.
Especially with those people and thinking about that, I think that they would have and are more interested in the science than they are the accolades. Like I think people like
I
that.
think it depends on the
exist.
scientist. I think that's going to be on an individual
for
basis.
sure.
Yeah, but I don't
For
think,
sure,
I also
for
don't
sure,
think it was
definitely.
like, oh no, I'm not going to get accolades. My ego's hurt that I wasn't right. I think it was more like, oh God, I'm about to find out that 30 years of work is obsolete. Like, you know what? Maybe it's more to your point. It won't advance anything. We have to throw it away. My contribution is just null now. That's rough. That is rough. It's a little rough, Carmen.
Yeah, it's almost like doing comedy for
It's exactly like doing
20
comedy.
years and nobody gives a fuck about you still.
It's
But
exactly
I
like
don't
that.
know about that. See, I don't know about that. I don't know if I mean, I guess maybe if you're like, I don't want to speak on it because like I've had such a weird life and a weird chain of events that like I can't say it's like, man, there's so much more to comedy to learn, especially in the atmosphere that we are, and to enjoy as a person who enjoys comedy. It's like, and who enjoys doing, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I was just saying it as a joke, but yeah, but it's because comedy is still not a figure outable. Because it's constantly changing.
It's also
so it's
not
never...
as important as science.
Huh?
It's also not as important as science. So.
Yeah, not even close.
Like if we fail, the human race doesn't end.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I also want to say though, I knew you were joking, but we have made an impact and some people do care. Maybe barely enough to pay our bills, and that sucks.
Patreon.com/gravybabypod.
But like I saw a guy me and DJ both know post that I haven't thought of in years, and no one's thought of in years. Post this thing about not being able to get up at his local comedy club lately, and I know why. It's there's a new booker. This is someone from back home. I might tell DJ later. I may not if we think of it, but it was gut-wrenching for me to read. This guy's a nice guy. He's not very funny. And just like the fact that he still cared broke my heart. I was like, oh my God. Like he's like making this post like, I haven't been getting up at the local club in like the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on. I feel like my journey in comedy's over. And my first thought was like, you're still doing it?
Oh shit.
And then
yeah.
my second thought was along the lines of what you just said, where it was like, bro, you've been doing this 2 decades and no one gives a fuck. And my thought wasn't like, you idiot. It was like, you precious man. But is a part of me that thinks that's really noble. Like that dude's
Man,
maybe more of a
it's probably
comic than
more for
me.
him. This person, it probably needs a social interaction and
Right.
just wants to. It doesn't matter if they bomb. They probably, who knows, just working out material, work through that part of it, be able to get on stage, be able to hang out with comics, be able to be around people. Like it's probably a lot more about that.
I agree.
I think as far as anything creative, I think it just depends on the level of which you want to do it. Some people just like to do it.
Right.
And this gentleman seems kind of like I used to call them the weekend warriors, where they had a day job, they had a family, and then this was like their hobby. This was like their thing they did on the side to make them feel special. This was their way of getting away from their significant other or their spouse or their kids or whatever the case was. And it was just but a lot of them weren't delusional, it seems, but some of them are.
That was part of it for me, I guess, too. As I was reading this and I was like, oh, you thought, oh, shit, man. We just thought you wanted to hang out.
Right. Well, a lot of people do start doing stand-up for the social aspects that you're talking about, DJ.
Yeah.
Like they don't know how to make friends. This is a way to be around people without having to interact as much.
Dude, I love that.
It's probably a lot.
Did y'all
It's
ever?
probably a lot more of that.
Go ahead, buddy.
I would imagine that it would be that much more like, and then you go up there to like, man, I can't go as a not comic because then I'm a fan, and that's weird for me to just be following these other comics that haven't not been on stage and nobody knows me anymore. That would be weird.
It would be, but that would be less weird, especially if they start like, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not really doing. I just want to see it. I mean, there are those weird, tried and true comedy fans. I always called them Dadaists because they were like people that like the Dada form of art, where they were less interested in the final product and more interested in the process of it. So they would go to open mics and watch you do that joke over and over and over again, and then like a month in, they're like, I really like where that joke is going, and it's like, what, you fucking weirdo? Why would you even care about this part?
Yeah, you psycho.
Yeah.
Get away from me. Face him.
Mark's pointing at himself.
Producer Mark is one of those guys. You're a Dadaist, man. You like Duchamp and all of that. The weird fucking, okay.
I'm still convinced this is a reality show somehow. The whole podcast studio is some long game Mark's got going on.
Yeah, he's been secretly filming us. He's gonna put out a short series on YouTube. Yeah, cut it all up.
Oh God, he's gonna make me racist because of the accent. Have you guys?
Hey, it's for good TV.
Did you guys meet Cracker Barrel Tom from Knoxville? It would be more likely that you met him, DJ, but you might have met him at a festival or something.
No, I don't.
He was an open micer. He is my first friend in comedy who, like, when he died, like, it really affected me just because he was a true original. His stories were incredible. Now, the things I'm about to tell you, none of this came out on stage. It was just me and him smoking in his 1976 Cutlass in between sets.
Okay.
When he'd get on stage, he'd be like, my name's Tom. I work down there at the Cracker Barrel. And then he would tell a few jokes about people he met at the Cracker Barrel. And then he would tell street jokes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. No, it was great. My favorite one ever was he had this joke where I saw him do it a few times, and then he would change the punchline. I don't remember what it was. It was a street joke.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time I heard him change the punchline, I was like, Tom, what's up with that Playboy joke? Because he would say afterwards, he goes, I read that in a Playboy magazine, 1954. And then he said something about the pages sticking together, right?
Of course.
Tom wrote the joke and then told people that he read it in a Playboy magazine. Like it was a street joke. He was the oddest, funnest, most fun. He would always open with, I'm a veteran. People would clap, of the drug war. He wrote some famous dude who's been on the cover of High Times magazine more than anyone else, who's a prisoner. I don't know if anyone knows this dude was a grower and helped change marijuana. Anyway, Tom was his pen pal. Tom grew incredible hydroponic marijuana He was adopted when he was 15. His parents died in a car accident, and his neighbors adopted him that he used to go mow their yard. They were childless, and they loved Tom. They were super rich. They died. Cancer back to
Jesus
back
fuck.
3 years later, left him $12 million.
What?
He said, my goal was to spend that as quickly and as fun as possible. Drew, I've been to Europe 15 fucking times, man. It took him 7 years to spend $12 million traveling the world.
Good for
Wow.
Tom.
Tom
Yeah.
was
Good
the
for Tom.
best, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But he's the only person I know who wrote a joke
Mm.
and then said somebody else wrote it.
Mm.
Like literally the opposite of a hack.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think about him
I
all
knew
the time.
there was an old guy there. I loved that back in the day. There was always one of those guys in every scene.
Yeah.
The one in my scene, his name was Uncle Ray. He wore Coke bottle glasses. He was an adorable man. I used to hit on him all the time. He was like 200 years old.
Yeah, Andy used to go to Tom's car and smoke with him and flirt with him, and then he'd come back and be like, Drew, don't be mad at me. But I kissed her in the cuddles. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I always, because he was like an old New York guy, and he would do nothing but street jokes, but they were street jokes that he wrote.
Yes.
And had like stories about Milton Berle stealing his jokes and then he like reading his own jokes in a fucking joke book put out by Milton Berle. He was like, that guy was a fucking hack. It was so awesome.
That's great.
He was so adorable.
That's
His
amazing.
son did stand up. His son was terrible at it, but he
Nice.
was always like, he was a time capsule of stand up. So it was always fun. He was always fun, and he would like, some of his jokes were problematic because they probably were from fucking 1962 or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was harmless. He was just reading this joke is about this joke is about this. So it was like,
What? Puerto Ricans can't tap dance or whatever.
the only salsas, the only dance they know. But it would be like backward shit like that. But he was such an adorable cartoon character. And I loved him. I loved his energy. I loved him being around.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time, once I started doing stand up a long time, he was like, I think you should do like a Rat Pack thing, like wear a fedora on stage. You ever think about wearing like a ladies? And I was like, I'm not in the fucking Rat Pack. And I was like, this is 2008,
Yeah.
Uncle Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fedoras mean very different things now.
You can't do that. You can't do that no more. So his comedy advice, not great, but him just as a character.
I think that was
around-
just life advice. I don't think he wanted you to do it on stage.
No, he did.
I think he was like, go through your life in a fedora. I wish
he always wore a newsy cap.
Uncle
Ray.
I wish Uncle Ray and Cracker Barrel Tom got to hang out.
I know.
He would write his name. He would write it on the list, the open mic list.
Mhm.
He would always go first if they'd let him, because he just wanted to go up and then get high
Mm-hmm.
and then watch his friends. And he would always write Cracker Barrel Tom.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
When we did a roast of Uncle Ray and I dressed up as an old lady, as like a girlfriend of his.
That's fun.
It really was fun. And I fucking roasted the shit out of that old man and he fucking loved it.
I love that.
Afterwards, he was like, you look good, old. And I was like, oh, thank you, Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray, watch you. I was like, watch your mouth, Uncle Ray. Don't be fresh.
Don't be fresh, Uncle Ray.
That's my job.
You had your chance.
Mm-hmm.
You let me walk out the door. Does Chattanooga have anyone like that, DJ? Was it your
I
dad?
don't know what they got. No, my dad was up and down, jumping down. When I was playing, yeah, no.
That was a million stories in 3 disparate clauses that formed a sentence there.
Come on, give us one of the things you thought, at least.
Nah.
Hell yeah, dude.
What if Cracker Barrel Tom and Uncle Ray had a feud? Who would win? Y'all know anything about feuds? Y'all ever had a feud? Y'all know a feud? Ever been in a feud?
I don't know who would win between Ray and Tom. It sounds like Ray might be mob affiliated. Just
He
Yeah, I
might
did
have
feel like
performed
that.
for
yeah.
somebody that was in
And-
an outfit.
And Tom was way too sweet to have any like
Criminal
deep
affiliate.
ties to the Dixie Mafia. So it would have just been me and Tom. And
That doesn't really
The
happen
Dixie
as much
Mafia.
with comedians, like how rappers are always like the diss track that Kendrick just put out against J.
Cat
Cole
Williams.
and
Cal Williams put out a diss track.
I mean,
Cat Williams. Yeah.
sure,
You talking about like beefs?
yeah, I guess
We do
so.
it behind the scenes.
Yeah, comics don't do it publicly. That's what I'm saying. Like rappers do when they have feuds. Like Kendrick just put out that diss track about
Yeah.
Drake and J. Cole.
I'd like to see roast battle become that. Comedy roast battle.
Well, and
People who actually hate each other.
oh,
Let's get in it. Or have an actual beef of some sort.
but that's the other thing too. Is a lot of times I don't think the rappers actually have beef. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just being competitive.
Slash, it's good for business. I think
Yeah.
we have decided it's bad for our business. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that's what we've decided. There were some like podcast beefs that started springing up 5
Didn't
or
Ari
6 years
Shaffir,
ago.
Michael Rappaport getting like a fist fight
I
at
don't
the
know if-
Comedy Store at one point?
Oh,
I know they had a thing.
no, that was Louis J. Gomez and Kurt Metzger.
Yep. And
at the
Lewis
store.
also had a thing with the guys we fucked ladies. And they played that off later like they had planned it.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I
Uh-huh.
think they decided to make up and that sounded cool. Like a wrestling
Sure.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've told Caleb Simon like 4 or 5 times on a podcast that I want to have a beef with him. I don't think he thinks it's as funny as me, as I do.
I remember when
I don't think he likes me, which is what I told him. I said, I don't think you've liked me since you met me. Let's have a beef. And he's like, I like you. It's so funny.
When I was the first time I was ever gonna almost be on what's it called, Last Comic Standing, me and my buddy Mike Baldwin, a comic from Missouri, were both in it, and I was like, dude, we should start a fucking feud. I was like, because if we got drama, if we're both talking shit about each other,
Yes.
I think we'll stay in
I
longer.
love Mike.
And he was like, but I don't. And I was like, I mean, obviously we don't hate each other. We've been friends for fucking 5 years. But I think we'd get here. It'd be great. We could write the shit that we talk about each other even together and have it all be underlying. And then at the end of it, it's that's the big reveal is they've all been scammed or we go on tour together or something like that. But we didn't get in, so it didn't matter. But that was my whole plan, is to have a big fake feud with someone I actually liked.
Dude, Mike Baldwin and I had, that's one of my favorite moments in comedy, where when you meet somebody and you just don't know what to think of them. And then like, you're like, oh, not only are they rad, they're like super rad.
Hmm.
We met doing that show that they do on like Opry television. It's like a clean 5 minutes. They pay you like $1,000. It's out of Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about JFL, and he was talking about how, rest in peace. Like if JFL
They'll
had
come
like
back.
if JFL
They're
had like
just in a coma right now. They'll come back.
if JFL had like 10 new comics
Mhm.
for years, 7 or 8 of them would be white guys.
Mhm.
And he was talking about that, and the way he was setting it up, I was like, oh man, I really liked you. Like I was like, this is about to be the weirdest, darkest thing.
Mm.
Because he was talking about his buddy who's Asian, who was going through the process and got to the last part. And then basically his point was like, so now they got like 1 Asian, 1 black guy, maybe 2, a black girl. It's like now they've got their little demographics. And I was like, great, a white guy's complaining about demographic shifts or
Mhm.
whatever. And then he's like, and my fucking friend is the funniest fucking dude that I know, but they already had an Asian. He's like, can you imagine being told? He's like, they told him this. They told him,
Oh, yeah.
we already have an Asian.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, what a turn that was. I was like, buddy, my heart was in my throat. I thought you were about to tell me about how everybody's gone, too woke or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I think all that diversity stuff is going away anyway. So I don't think anybody cares anymore. I think
No,
it's a
white
flash
dudes are
in the
back, baby. We're back, baby.
pan. I know, just like cocaine and cigarettes. You're
Yeah.
back.
I'm left out again, though. That's all right. I thought about starting like, the F slur as a punchline. You know what I mean? Get a cool million. It's probably too late for me.
There's always the heel turn, dude. You could always do a heel turn.
What if I did a heel turn and it was a reverse canceling? They went and found old tweets where I was like, Bernie Sanders rules. Stop being mean to gay people. And they're like, look at this guy.
This guy's not a hero. This
guy's a pussy.
He doesn't care about the right free speech.
But I need a comedy feud. I've always wanted to do it.
Wait, you're from the South. Ain't that where the feuds came from? The old Hatfield and McCoys and shit?
Feuds probably came from like feudal times where different clans, I have to assume. But
that's where my family originally comes from in Italy. The Camorra or Camorras. It was before there was organized crime. It was just all of these small gangs that just used to check each other.
Isn't that organized crime?
No, organized crime, you got a boss, there's like line of a command and shit. These were all independent little towns, and they would, and it was just if anybody got too big, the other ones would all band together and fucking check them. So everybody was always the same.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I know.
It's
and
like
then organized crime kind of ruined the whole thing.
Egalitarian prostitution.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I'm from feud. I mean, I'm from close to where the Hatfields and McCoys are. Like,
are you really?
I mean, pretty close. That's in eastern Kentucky, and I'm in the north part of eastern Tennessee. Where Andy's from, which is just above me, she borders the Kentucky state line. And like right over there is where all that shit supposedly went down in West Virginia. I mean, fucking Dollywood's made it into like a ride or a theme night.
Yeah,
or some
dude.
Shit.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
You can go watch actors who grew their beard out like DJ and probably stole his clothes while he wasn't looking, pretend to shoot at each other. Pretend to shoot at each other. Well, they had to get rid of Dixie Stampede, right? The North and South. So now it's like Hatfield and McCoy shit.
Oh. Why didn't they just take the flag out?
Well, it was still weird to have people choose to be on or even told, and you're the South.
I mean, it's true. It is hard to go into a fake battle knowing you're going to lose.
I don't think that's the bigger issue. It's like, would you like the mashed potatoes or the gravy? Also, you own slaves, and for dessert, we have apple pie. That's what you're fighting for.
The aforementioned slaves. Yeah.
Ours is better than the North's. That would be so funny when you go to Dixie Stampede. If you are on the north side, your food's worse.
Because it was made by the hands of whites.
Andy's family has 2 feuds, one ongoing.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, the first one.
No fucking way.
Yeah. Her dad's side, her dad's grandfather killed a man in his defense, and he won, this isn't a thing anymore, but back then it was, needed killing. You argue to the jury, I killed that man, and I had a good reason to. And you testify to what that reason was, and if they believe you, you still go to prison, but you get way less time. I think he only did a year. They had an
killing a man?
Mm-hmm.
What?
They had an ongoing thing. It started over a pig, as it does. I think that guy
could kill a man over a pig and just do a year?
Okay, think about the time period.
Right.
Think about the time period.
Cooler back
think
in the
about
day.
the time period. You didn't kill a man over a pig. You killed a man over ripping you off in a way that one of your smallest child might die this winter.
Oh,
and
shit.
probably not the first time the some bitch did it.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
That needs, I'm sure that there is, like, what judge, you know what I'm saying, would just allow that if it weren't followed to the letter of the law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to prove your case in court. Some bitch needed dead.
Right. Then by the way, that's not a defense anymore in the state of Tennessee. They got rid of that because we all turned to woke pussies. But I think the story was come to buy a pig from the guy, want that pig, okay, we will slaughter it for you. Mm-hmm. And we'll get it to you. Okay, here's the price. All right, give me a deposit. Somebody else came, offered more money, sold the pig. Either tried to bring him a smaller one, or just was like, sorry, and we're not giving you your deposit back. So that started the bad blood. then he did something to that guy. I swear, I think he set his barn on fire or some shit, or let all of his other pigs out. I think that's what it let all his pigs. It started a series of fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then one day he saw him, and what he was doing is he was going to kill some of their family's animals. He was creeping through a field, and he, fired warning shot or whatever at him. And the guy stood up and shot at him, and he shot at him. Nobody died that day. And then like a week later, he just went to his house and killed that son of a bitch. And that started a feud with that dude's family. And then he went, so Papa Morrow went to prison.
Okay. So was any of Andy's family killed in the feud, or was it they were just doing the killing?
No one on Andy's side got killed in that one.
But what happened? Why does the feud working? How does that feud work? Will you stare at each other driving in the road, or
that's what I'm saying? You stay on your side of the road.
So a blood feud.
Uh-huh.
It basically means all our family hates all your family. And then it can, it just depends on the blood feud, how much it escalates. My understanding is he only had 2 sons, and we'll say our side, I married into the family, had like 6, but there were a few instances of violence after that of like fights. And basically, we just beat the shit out of him. 6-2.
I mean, 6-2, yeah.
And also, part of the reason he got away with it is, it's a local judge and jury. Nobody liked that guy. Apparently, he ripped a lot of people off.
Sure, of course. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like, probably, definitely, if the dude had been black, they'd have been like, yeah, of course, he need to kill him. Right? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Those times.
Oh, they would just, self-defensed it or something.
Yeah, totally. Probably wouldn't even done a year, probably. But I imagine that at that time needed killing. You couldn't just, because it's such a weird, what a crazy time for not law.
Yeah.
For law.
I think it was like justifiable homicide was the defense. And again, you can't get a not guilty from it. But if you prove that, then you get less time. So my understanding is that lasted about, like, the build up to that was like 5 or 6 years. And then after that, there was violence for 3 or 4. But then he got out after a year, and it was like, this dude's already killed one of you. You should probably chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like at that point, unless you plan on fucking full force doing it back, then my whole thing with the generational thing is like, man, imagine having to give a fuck about what your dad gave a fuck about this much.
Do you like Jason Isbell?
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
He's got a song with the Drive-By Truckers when he was with them called Decoration Day. That's quite literally what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about being in a blood feud where you're like, I don't even know the guys who started this. Why am I doing this? But but in the song, his dad beat him for not acting right in a fight. So now he's like, all right, I'm never gonna let that happen to me again. So I guess I'll kill him.
Song.
Wow. Man. That's fucking nuts.
Dude.
This is really. Yeah, I thought we, when you're like 22 and you watch The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, and you're like, oh, okay, there's just.
Well, meth and pills really did a number on feuds.
Yeah.
And poison water and fucking goddamn poison food and fucking everybody's sick, and it's just it's just a place. It's just they need help out there, dude. They need some people to go help them.
Yeah.
Sorry. DJ's been furious about a book called Rural White Rage.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Much like the arsenic from the coal, it's seeping into everything about his life.
What's the book about?
It's about, how angry rural white people are and how they're to blame. They're still doing that thing of like Trump is blame Trump on rural white people, basically. The poors did
even
this.
though it's a Democrat and Doug Manchin in West Virginia who is making all these deals, water, putting these people in food deserts, like flooding them with drugs, not giving them health care. So why wouldn't they hate Democrats? It's such a classist, evil thing to do for the Democratic Party. For these people to even write a book about it, to point the finger at this marginalized communities
Mhm.
that they have fucked up and go look down their nose at them and go, look at these dumb. Fuck, I'm so furious about it.
It's very
I'm
like
so mad.
you remember like
I'm
Reagan's
so mad.
welfare queen,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
this like
that.
boogeyman welfare queen that's like ruining America, and everyone's like, that makes sense because I don't want to look at what's actually going on.
Right.
It's like a version
Right.
of that. But the
don't wanna-
Democrats are doing it. It's
Gotcha.
like, why are we losing to Trump? These fucking evil, dumb. It's like, and there are all these things that you can't be at the same time.
Right.
Like you can't be stupid and like this organized to ruin democratic plans. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very frustrating.
And it's so weird because they point at the white people because they know that they're not going to be called racist or anything. They've got this demographic. Dre's parents, and there's a lot of people around here too, straight out of Mexico, right? Love Trump. Love it. Dre's parents love Trump.
Oh, yeah,
for
dude.
whatever reason.
I was just in New
Huh?
Mexico not that long ago, and it was like natives for Trump. There was a lot of natives for Trump.
It's crazy, dude. So like, don't be like you're pointing at the what you can. You're pandering to whoever these classist bullshit shit libs are, and you're pandering to them. Say these are your enemy. Go attack them. They're the bad person. Punch down. And it's like that's no different than anybody else. When it's not just them, they're all kind of people, especially poor people who been fucked over by Democrats. Why not? Oh my God! This is
Welcome to Gravy Baby, a podcast for positivity.
No, positive toxicity.
Oh, my bad. Well, I don't know. I got scared by all this rural white rage coming through my screen right now.
I got it, buddy. I got it. I could not be more upset with just
Yeah.
liberalism and
So what do
but
you?
I don't want to.
So you think they're right to go for Trump? I mean, in that
No.
context.
I'm saying, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you expect?
Well, those
They
people,
go into. Go ahead.
I just think they've correctly assessed about some folks,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those folks, rural white Americans, that they just fucking despise Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've cherry picked the reasons why.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
And in doing so have created a boogeyman that people who read the book and go on CNN and talk about it and watch those interviews on CNN can be like, oh, now I get it. I have to change nothing. I just have to hate them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nah,
Yeah.
that's really not going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like one of those
It's
things
another
where it's like the
bootstrap.
book's like 40 to 60% correct. And then the rest of it is just all about culture war bullshit
Mm.
that they extrapolate
Yeah.
from that correctness.
Yeah.
And it's just really frustrating.
I haven't read the book. I just saw an interview. I heard about it, and then I watched an interview on it, and like the people, it really struck me as being like just like what you said, and it's like kind of like bootstrap shit. It's fucking bootstrap shit. It's welfare queen shit. It's fucking punching down on marginalized community shit. It's like everything that I cannot stand. You know what I'm saying? And they're
Right.
doing it. And it's crazy.
So it's what they did. That's what they did during the Reagan towards black people, poor black people. But now they're
Liberals
doing it
are
to poor
doing-
white people.
and
That's
it's
exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Wow.
That's exactly it. They've really done a flip. They've really done a flip.
Because that was the whole thing. Is I remember getting into arguments with people about that, where they're like, "Oh, people just get on welfare and they're always taking advantage of it," and it's like all
Yeah.
these, and it was just like, it's all women and
Yeah.
single moms and children. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, and they're
Because
like,
that's all you had to do is just look it up. You go, no,
Right.
you're
well, so
That's it.
So the tenor there is
according to their data.
yeah. So the tenor of this one, it's a little more sophisticated than that because it has to be because people know about that. Is like, actually, this county in West Virginia has the third highest rate of people on welfare in the world.
Mhm.
So why are these people so fucking racist and hate Democrats when they're just all hypocrites and they're like, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're voting against their interests because that's where they start.
Got it.
And it's like, that is weird. That is an odd thing.
But here's why.
Well, it's super nuanced. It's also, it reminds me of when Trump first got elected
Mhm.
and everyone was like, what? It was like, even I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. You know, I knew he was going to win certain states, but I really thought Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, you know, in some Rust Belt state. Anyway, they had all those like those fly-in, what do they call them? Helicopter in. What the fuck am I?
Drones? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a type of journalism, and they have a phrase for it.
Fly
Parachute.
by-
Parachute journalism.
Okay.
Where you parachute into a place, West Virginia, and they're like, we're here in West Virginia, you know, and the subtext, like the headline is like, to figure out why Donald Trump was voted for by these fucking idiots
Mhm.
who are all on welfare
Yeah.
and now they don't
Yeah.
want it. And it's like, yeah, but the subtext is we're here in broke as fuck West Virginia where the water's poisoned,
Mhm.
you know,
Everybody's sick.
everyone's sick.
Don't have any health care.
The EPA, which is ostensibly a liberal thing, has been hamstrung completely by a Democratic state senator in that
Mhm.
particular
Yes,
state.
that's right.
Mhm.
And it's like,
That's right.
yes,
That's
there's
right.
like a lot of nuance where these people probably shouldn't have voted for Trump, but you're skipping all that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, when for the last 20 years somebody has been slowly
Right.
killing us.
Not to mention how much they hate Democrats specifically because of NAFTA and Clinton.
Right.
You know, it's like you
Yeah.
can point to a 2-year period where opioids
Yeah, dude.
and NAFTA happened, and one of them they
dude.
blame entirely on Democrats, and it's like, hey, we're in a town where everyone's lives got ruined at the same fucking time by
Mhm.
Bill Clinton. I mean, it happened to my family, and we don't know why they hate Democrats. We're here to find out. If you can see behind me, I'm standing in front of what used to be their library.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
now a methadone clinic.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so
Because they're all-
miserable.
Yeah, they're too dumb and poor to do anything about it. Like, what the
Right.
fuck, dude?
Anyway,
In the fuck, dude.
well, we got into that.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Nah, DJ,
I
we
didn't
were doing
want to.
feuds, and DJ's been feuding with the
Yeah.
government.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been feuding with the government. He's been feuding with the Democratic
Now
Party.
that's a blood feud I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
DJ.
I just
Well, never mind. That's too much. That's too much. I won't get into that. Sorry. But hold on. You had to have had some feuds in your family, on one side or the other. Going back, I mean,
No, man. I mean, not like that. It was never like that.
yeah,
My mom's dad worked for the mob, and
that's not a feud. That's like business.
that's what I'm
right?
saying. That's business.
It's not like
And then-
personal. Like we hate this family. It's like
Yeah, it was never like that. Plus, my grandmother immigrated here from Cuba, so it was like,
so she had a feud with a few people back there.
no, it was just everybody started going poor.
Yeah,
And she was like, their government's taking everything from me. I have a small boy. We got to get the fuck out of here. So they like spent the last time, and like,
she was
and not to
feuding
be
with
confused with, there
communism.
was a lot of aristocrats that fled Cuba. My grandmother didn't have any money, like that.
She didn't own a plantation.
No.
Oh my god, what they're doing to Cuba, man, what they've done. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I know.
So she was
Alright.
feuding with Castro.
Hmm?
She had a Castro feud going on.
Yeah.
Nah, she's oh okay.
Well, I mean, and
Oh, I thought you
initially,
said-
like, I remember when she was really young, when Castro first came into order, like, she believed that he was going to change everything because that's what he was pushing, you know, and
yeah.
he had all this
Mhm.
support. And that was like when, because now we're talking about the 50s when it was the height of that. And he had Hungarian support, he had Russian support, he had all of, so Cuba was doing good for a small amount of time.
Yeah, and then the
So-
embargoes
Yeah.
and all that
And
started
then the
working.
embargoes and all that stuff. And so then,
Bay of
and-
Pigs.
and yeah, not only that, but then it ended up being his greed and his pride going, okay, well
Yeah.
now I don't want to
Right.
renegotiate with the United States.
Right.
I'd rather have
Right.
my country die than fucking
Bay of Pigs.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pigs
Yeah,
is
it
what
is Bay of
started
Pigs.
Andy's family feud too.
Oh man.
It's always
shit.
pigs.
Even Castro.
And I am feuding with the pigs.
It's a feudal pig.
I'm a futile pig. That's what I am. Today playing basketball, this buddy of mine was like, "Oh, he's got the dad bod going," and I do,
Mhm.
but this is the smallest I've been in like 3 years, and I'm like,
It was so hurtful.
it wasn't hurtful. It was more like What do you bend anyway? I'm a futile pig. That's the point I'm getting at.
Anyway, futile pig. Move on.
That'll do, piggy. That'll do. Here's my gravy, baby.
What?
Here's my gravy, baby.
Okay, what's been good?
I don't know how I found this guy on my like whatever doom scrolling through Instagram, you know, watching a goddamn genocide just fucking happen in real time and everyone pretend like it's not what's going on.
Yeah, man. Whew.
But there's this New Zealand boy. I say boy, he's like my age. His name's Timo. He lives in Canada and he's trying to be an online content creator and he came up with this gimmick that he thought would get him followers and it's worked. And I don't know who floated him, but he got on a hot streak. He would play online blackjack, film it to where you could see what he's playing and his face. And he'd be like, here we go, boys. Blackjack today, 10 cents for every follower. There's 300,000 of you legends, $30,000 bet today. It started out like $4,000 bets. It's up to like 30.
Wow.
He got on a hot streak. The dude is plus 250-ish K right now.
Holy shit.
And buddy, I'm like, I can't believe how much better my day is when he hits one.
Really?
Yesterday or the day before.
So now you get to be a gambling voyeur? So you get to
and I've never done this before, and I always made fun
by
of
association.
And I always made fun of people who watch video games, and I will never do it again because I'm so fucking hype. And he's fun, and he's got the cool accent, and he's always positive, and he calls us legends, which is cool. The other day he got.
I love it.
He calls me a legend. I love him.
He's got the other day the other day he gets 2
My favorite part is when he says I'm cool.
Yes. The other day we got 2 8s.
Okay.
Up against a 6.
You split it?
You split it because it's only because it's up against a 6.
Of course.
But you can't do that unless you have funds. You can't add funds in the middle of the game. And he doesn't always have the funds because I think he knows he's a degenerate gambler. He only allows himself to have a certain amount in it at any given point, right? He had the funds that day. This is better than any episode of television I've seen in 15 fucking years, dude.
Hell yeah.
Boys, and he talks like we're all in it together.
Of
That's
course.
his talent. That's his talent is making it feel like we are all winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, we got the funds, fucker. We got the funds. Here we fucking go. Don't you give me a fucking, I'm not even going to say it. So he's like, 10, give me 10 and 10 and 10 and 10. That's one of his catchphrases. And 10 and 10 and 10. Because basically, if you know anything about blackjack, you're mostly pulling for the dealer to bust.
Yes.
And they have certain rules where they have to hit if they're at a certain number.
16. They have to,
They have to hit below 16. But they'll stay at a 16 if you're playing with other people at the table so they don't bust, right?
Yes.
So she hit 16. He had double 18. We won we won
Hey, my man.
Yeah.
My man. That's great.
$64,000.
Holy
One
shit.
hand.
Yeah.
And then he gave like 10 or 15 to a charity in New Zealand that teaches poor kids rugby or some shit.
Yeah.
Also rad.
Yeah.
I'm so in. Tim, I think it's Noki, Noki
Wow.
is the follow.
Have you given him any money?
No, he doesn't ask for money. He's above board. He's a professional gambler. I mean, he's a degenerate drunk, and you can tell.
Yeah.
He's real sweet and positive, but like he'll be like walking. He always is walking outside when he starts the video, and then it cuts to him at a virtual table. He'll be walking outside some days, and he'll be like, I don't remember the phrase for it. Lacquered, maybe? Where you're just fucking hungover.
Yeah.
Lacquered today, boys. Whoo! 2 hours of sleep. Did not act right yesterday. And I'm just fully in, dude. I'm like, this is my best friend. Yeah, he was in my wedding. I'm going to be in his third wife's wedding.
Yeah.
So you could tell that, like,
He paid for in cash.
Yeah, he's got a lot of psychological problems, you can tell, but they're all, like, self-destructive ones, I think.
Gotcha.
If this dude turns out to be, like, a baby rapist or racist, either one, I might quit the internet.
Yeah.
It's pure fun. And all of his fans in the comments, we all support each other. Somebody makes a good joke.
That's great.
Great joke, bro.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I love online communities, man. I love being in. I watch Twitch streams all the time. I watch YouTube streams all the time. I love being in. I love being in the live chat. It's really, really, really something I think I missed out on for a lot of years. But being a pod, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well,
Being
that's
in
why I
being in your
want to thank
character.
our gravy baby people for like partaking in because I've been playing video games
Absolutely, absolutely.
and
Oh, no,
it's nice. It's nice to like be able
yeah,
to engage. Like we don't really have a way to engage with them as much. So it's for me. It's been nice that people show up whenever I'm playing video games and they talk shit and Last of the Five O's. We know Last of the Five O's comes by and
One of my top OnlyFans commenters.
Yeah, exactly. That does not surprise me.
Dude, it gets wild in the OnlyFans comments. He always makes jokes that are a little pervy, but dude, sometimes I'll like post just a regular ass and then just some guy comes in and like, this is awesome. Will you ever show your butthole?
that's a good question.
And you
though.
said, yes, I will for $15,000.
$1,000.
Just show my butthole, not video and not face. It's way less than that, Carmen. Thank you for believing in me, but if my face isn't in it and it's not video, they can't. I could easily be
You
like,
heard it here first, folks. Fucking OnlyFans.com
Yeah.
/ Drew Morgan
if I
Comedy.
could easily claim that's not me,
Mm.
yeah, it's way less. Like if I could just
That's
be like, well, I don't know, I'm just gonna ignore that. It's weird. Somebody doctored.
You gotta
that
make
in
sure
this.
you don't get your hands because they'll be able to tell if it's you or not with your
Or
hands
your
spreading
tattoo.
your
You got a
cheeks.
tattoo on your ass.
I
Yeah.
do have a tattoo. Yeah, anybody could put a tattoo on an ass in post, though, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine is though.
Okay.
That's true though, because mine is it's that fighting okra. But
Yeah.
my artist.
Wait, you have a tattoo on your butt?
the Delta State fighting okras. You don't know about
No.
this? But we changed.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a tattoo on your ass of okra?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Wow.
don't know how you don't know this because I'm not surprised you don't know this, but this is part of Into the Biscuit leading into Gravy Baby lore. DJ and I were raising money for the Children's Defense. Look, like every great tattoo story, we were raising money for the Children's Defense League. And I said, I'll get a tattoo on my ass if we raise $5,000. I think.
Again, the number's too low, but okay.
Yeah, but what? It's just you get a tattoo. And I got it. And then everybody was like, oh, we did it. Let's see it. And I was like, I didn't say I'd show it to you. You got to do more for that. I was just trying to get more money for the kids.
Yeah.
But then we didn't hit that number. So people were pissed for a little
Yeah.
while. I didn't show them for a long time. But yeah, the Delta State fighting okra.
Wow.
DJ and I we used to call ourselves gutter.
Did you get one too, DJ?
He didn't,
No.
he didn't have enough free space anywhere but his face.
Not a lot of canvas left over.
It used to be Gutter
Wow.
Bumpkin and Okra Boy. We
Mm.
started a religion. Okra Boy was one of the prophets. We got real weird during
Really?
the pandemic.
Where is
Oh,
it?
man.
But is it near
So
your
weird.
asshole or just on a cheek?
It's on a cheek, but close to the asshole. I didn't want it like up on the hip. I just thought that was weak. He told me, he goes, the closer I get to your butthole, you're going to light up.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I was like, I didn't know
That's
what he meant.
Tinder. That's Tinder.
And light up was the appropriate thing. It feels like someone is like plugging in something electric, but like over here. So it burns there and then you feel it all the way to there. It was wild.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It didn't hurt. It was like, it was painful. I don't know how to describe it. People who got tattoos know what I'm talking about. It was strange. It was way worse than this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would I fucking know
Shout
that?
out-
I've never seen your asshole. Like, why do you think I would know
I thought, but wait,
about
it's
a
not,
tattoo on
well,
your butt that you don't show and that's not
it's-
easily to show? You
it's
do
not
it
my
on
asshole.
the side,
We
on the
used-
big meaty part, so
Yeah.
you can moon somebody and show it, and it not have to be an
I can
intimate
moon you
thing.
and show it. And also, we've talked about it. Yeah.
No.
Me and him, I mean. So
Oh.
I thought maybe, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Shout out Louis Campo.
Oh, that's who that is. He do that?
Yeah,
Producer
Campo
Mark
did
is
that?
saying I should subscribe
Oh,
to
yeah.
Drew's OnlyFans so I can see it.
yeah, it's only like $5. Shout out, the OnlyFans is free, but to see the tattoo is $5. Shout out Louis Campo in San Luis Obispo. If you're in that area, man, I forgot the name of his shop, and he listens. He's gonna fucking kill me. But just look up Louis Campo, and he's a great tattoo artist and a great man.
Wow. You think you
What's
know a
up,
guy?
Louis?
And then
I know.
you're mad that you didn't know. I can feel it. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I had no idea
wanna
that
see
you
it?
had a fighting okra near your
It's a
asshole.
good tattoo.
It's not
Yeah, that's
near my
great.
asshole. It's just closer than standard.
So is it on the curve?
Maybe a little past. I mean, it's pretty big. I don't know.
I just like, okay, if you have a butt.
I'm just going to show you the picture. I'll show you the picture of me and DJ when I did reveal it with our asses out, and I think Instagram flagged it.
Yeah, we were in David Joy's house.
Oh my God.
Oh, we were. That's right. David Joy, who, by the way, David Joy's the reason I have this tattoo. Paint Monkey, John Trotter, friend of the pod, creator of our logo, drew me and Andy as Squidbillies. And then David was like, if you don't get that as tattoos, there ain't a hair on it. I think that's literally the phrase he used.
Wow.
And
so you have
for our anniversary,
you and Andy as Squidbillies.
I have her as a Squidbilly here, and she has me. And it says Terry, because we call each other Terry.
Whoa. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
I mean, it's just a boring tattoo story.
I just didn't know you had fucking hip bones and asshole tattoos.
Carmen, you're starting to hurt my feelings.
Why? I don't know.
I'm rad. This why you won't do crime with me? Is this why you won't do crime with me? Is this why y'all won't do crime with me? You thought I wouldn't get tattoos. Well, we gotta get out of here.
We gotta go, I guess.
We're breaking up.
This is how the band breaks up because I'm not privy to your asshole tattoo.
No, because you're looking at me like it's the craziest thing you've ever heard. Like I'm not cool. I'm cool.
Oh my God. Patreon.com/GrammyBabyPod. Go to OnlyFans.
I get my ass tattooed for the oppressed. What do you do for the kids?
I just give them money. I don't know.
Wow.
I just give them money directly. I don't
Wow.
get.
Yeah,
I don't
Children's
have to do
Defense
the
Fund,
thing.
by the way.
Yeah.
The Children's Defense Fund, if anybody just looking for also, you know what? You can go to Blue Ridge Comedy. If anybody, my birthday is April 6th, y'all. Blue Ridge Comedy Club. They're moving their club.
Oh,
They got the new location? Fuck yeah.
And they're raising money right now. They need some people to kick down. So listen, I usually don't fuck with my birthday, but I'm gonna try to use my powers for good.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do something for me, guys, kick down these awesome people.
Sean Carter, yeah, all the Gravy Baby people that came out.
Yeah, but you're in comedy in Bristol. You can put on happy birthday. Sean's birthday is the same day, so
what a great coincidence. I know he broke up a little bit there, folks, with the connection. Blue Ridge Comedy Club. Just type that into your social media, and then you will find their campaign, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're on. They're on it, and they've shared their campaign. And we are trying to help a small, private. What's the word?
Independent.
Independent. Thank you. Business. Stay going and do rad things and do rad comedy in a rad southern city.
That's true. I had so much time in Bristol.
Fun.
Yeah, man.
We had to correct each other. You said time.
The comics is great for the comics. It's great for the people. It's once again, it's independent. They're so cool, such good people. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, they treat the comics well. They try to cultivate talent, local talent. Like they
totally
care.
do.
They care.
Great audiences.
Mm-hmm.
At least when we go, because it's like half our fans and half the reddest motherfuckers on the planet who do not know what to think of me or DJ.
Well, we didn't have the reddest people ever, but like we did have some people, like the old couple that was traveling through.
Yep.
And just some random, but it's just a great spot. Anyway,
I'll also, me and Carmen and DJ will all post that. DJ's birthday is April 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. We got to go. Love you guys.
Bye.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,